I just wanted to let you know I humbly packed my bags and I booked my flight for this date, and I'll be there on this date.
I love
Excited
that.
to meet you, and I'm like, damn.
Got this shit knocking though.
Great.
This new Rich Barber
Broadcast.
Growing up, I just always had desire and passion in whatever I did, and I always wanted to have some type of impact or do something like, different, unique, and great. So I started off playing basketball like most urban kids do. That was my dream. That was my passion. That's what I gave all my attention and energy and my ambition to. But that ended around when I was 20 years old. And around 21, I found myself, really like not having direction, not having a purpose, because that was my purpose. Basketball was my purpose my whole life. So for that purpose to end and then be 21 years old, and not, college didn't work out, not really educated. I never took school serious. I just went to play basketball. I found myself really like drifting through life. And I found myself going down a path that just wasn't my dream life. It wasn't that dream that I used to see myself living when I was young on the basketball court, shooting by myself, practicing. So when I finally discovered another passion of mine, which was like entrepreneurship and success philosophy, and learning about how do you become successful? How do you win? How do you become rich? I always wanted to be rich. I always wanted to have a certain lifestyle, and I wanted to do it a certain way. So I would ask questions and I would seek and I would try to find answers, and I started reading books, and each thing I learned led to another thing. Mm-hmm. And when I became a barber and I adopted that as my purpose, to become a barber and lay this foundation in the barber industry for myself, I'm learning these things and I'm like, wow, I can see how I could use barbering as a platform to really apply these principles and really create something big and impactful. So as I'm a barber, I'm cutting hair, I'm working, I'm doing my passion, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm applying these principles to my career. And I'm watching how other barbers around me, when they didn't apply these principles, they were like stagnant. They didn't really grow. They were just, they'll be stagnant and they just kind of hit this plateau and they just stayed there. So I'm learning these things, I'm watching it, and I was like, wow, I want to bring this shit to the barber industry. I connect with barbers. I connect with what barbers are and where they come from. And we're artists and we like freedom. We're not really like cubicle office workers. We like to express ourselves through our barbering art. We don't like to be told what to do. And we come from a lot of times the urban city and stuff like that. So I connected with barbers and I wanted to bring this information, this knowledge to the barber industry. And for me, when I started the Rich Barber, I was broke. A lot of things that was going on in my life, a lot of friction and stuff like that. And I found myself restarting, which I kind of destroyed and rebuild. But when I destroyed, I'm broke, but I had this desire, this passion to build a brand and teach the success principles. And I wanted to call it the Rich Barber. And I was a little hesitant because I'm broke. I don't look rich, but when something clicked, and I really started to really understand what it takes and that you have to become this certain person, I said, let me be a manifest. Let me be a testament by calling my brand the Rich Barber and then actually making it happen. And it was a tough thing to do because, the doubt, fear and criticism. And I grew up in poverty, so criticism was something I've always hated, because I didn't like being poor, so I would try to hide it. So if I'm not rich and I'm saying the Rich Barber's the brand, then, I can't hide nothing. Right. I can't hide what I truly believe because I believe that about myself. Mm-hmm. I believe I was going to manifest it. So I started the Rich Barber in 2013, and it's built off of, rich mindset, rich outcome, which is basically like a simplified, condensed version of like the underlying principles that really bring the Rich Barber philosophy to life. So that's my background. And as I built this company, I've invented 3 products. The last product I invented was the 1-minute blade modifier. It's the hottest product in the industry right now. I mean, it's a game changer. Barbers love it. Even the consumer market is starting to pick it up and adopt it. And we really solved the problem that has been in the barber industry for 20 years. Everybody's always wanted to know, how do you get your sharp lines? So we brought that to the industry. We delivered that. We brought, knowledge to the industry. We brought success principles and translated them in terms that barbers can understand and apply to their career. And, we're about 5-6 years in it, and, couldn't ask for a better situation, and I'm purpose driven, and I'm excited for the future.
That's amazing. I love hearing this story every time. What made you finally choose to take on apprentices?
Joel's motherfucking ass. I got this guy, man, this motherfucker right here would not leave me alone, but I respected it. I had nothing but respect for it. But this young cat in Ohio, and everywhere I go, this motherfucker's giving me some type of value, some type of shout out, some type of value, reviewing my product on YouTube and shit like that. And in his story on Instagram, he's giving value. And I'm like, I recognize those type of things because he knew something. He knew that that's how you do it. You don't just go looking for like a handout, but he was giving. So, but even, through that giving, it was still tough for me to really give my attention to that because my business was like, I think I was inventing the blade modifier, and I just had so much on my mind and overwhelmed. And this guy, he's like hitting me up, and then next thing you know, he sends me a text message because I had a quick conversation with him, and he was like, I could help you run your Amazon or take some weight off your assistants and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I fuck with that. But then one day he was just like, fuck it. He texted me and said, hey, Chuka, I just wanted to let you know I humbly packed my bags and I booked my flight for this date, and I'll be there on this date.
I love
Excited
that.
to meet you. And I'm like, damn. I was like, fuck, let me research this fucking apprentice shit, because this motherfucker all the way. So then, so when he came, I'm like, okay, like, what's up? I met him. I was talking to him and shit like that. I already liked him because I've been seeing what he's been doing, And when he showed up, I was like, what's up, man? We talking. I was like, so when do you head back to Ohio? He was like, oh, I'm not going back. I was like, so you moved there? And he was like, yeah. I said, what did your mom think? She was like, well, she did some research on you. And she was like, I remind you of him. That he, like, Joel reminds,
Mm-hmm.
And we got, like, similar stories. Mm-hmm. And the more I get to know Joel, we really have, like, really close, similar stories. So, she was with it, and he was with it. And he was out here, and he did what he had to do. I'll let him tell a story, because he's telling it, so follow him so you can connect with that real story that's as it's happening. Yeah. This is actually happening right now. And he's my apprentice. And then Julio, I met Julio. Julio hit me up, and I checked out his page and shit like that, and he was a Marine, and I respect that type of shit, discipline and all that. And I seen his skills, and he had some skills. And when I met him, he was like, it's real. Like, they ain't come looking for handouts, and they ain't come asking about, is there walk-ins and shit, and, how, they ain't come all them dumbass questions. All they wanted to do is they wanted to be a barber, and they had desire and ambition to do it. That's it. It wasn't no complicated shit. What do you guys got a phone number people could call in case we get walk-ins? And do you run advertisements on Yelp and all this shit? They knew what they wanted, and they came and went after it. You know what I mean? And I met, Julio in person, and I liked his vibe. You know what I mean? And I'm someone that makes decisions upon facts, but I'm also someone that actually goes off how I feel, and I'm in tune with my emotions. So I could, it's people's energy, and it's like, okay, like, I felt like an energy connection, like this guy will fit in our barbershop atmosphere, in our brand and what we're doing, and Same thing with Joel. So I was like, fuck, well, it just worked out. I was like, okay, if I was going to have 2 apprentices, it's going to be them. If it wasn't them, I would have no apprentices, because I ain't meet no other people that I'm going to go out stop my, slow down business and just, go figure out and make them apprentices. I'm not going to do it. But for them, they came with, wanting to grow, wanting to be better, wanted an opportunity, not a handout.
Thank you, Chuka. Well, we actually have our apprentices here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Joel and Julio.
What's up,
How are you guys today?
Doing good.
Good, excited, energy up. How has your journey been so far, and has it been what you expected?
Man, this journey, it's been amazing. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect, because I've never been in a barbershop. I've never been in that kind of vibe. So me entering this barbershop, I was nervous as shit. I was like, God damn, everybody in here is just skilled. Everybody, damn, like, that bar is set for me, and I'm coming from garage, like, shit, like, I need to like really put in my work, really grind. But other than that, put in the work, like, I'm already seeing changes in myself, just me as a person, not even in my haircuts, because I'm not, like, I'm more concentrated on the person I want to become first. Right. I'm going to execute that into my haircuts, because, I mean, I feel like once you do that, you're going to get that outcome, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to, I could already notice it in my haircuts. Like, I feel like I'm cutting better. I'm around all the right people, and I'm, like, grasping, and I'm picking from everybody's brains, and I'm just applying it to my own thing and trying to make my own little hybrid of myself, and I mean, that's about it.
That's nice. Yeah, I did also want to congratulate you both on reaching 10,000 followers on Instagram back to back, a couple days apart from each other. So that's growth within itself. So congratulations. Joel, same question. What are some of the struggles, and what are some of your struggles?
So to take you back, like, to paint the picture, before I saw the Rich Barber Commandments, before I had any of the influence, I'm just this 19-year-old kid. I was in a job where I'm basically just making these sales calls, like telemarketing, and I didn't enjoy that at all. And I just wanted to help out, because my mom was always struggling just to keep me and my brothers above water. You know what I mean? Like, having food in the fridge or a car to drive, that was a struggle. And to do my part, I figured that's what I would do. While I'm in school, I'll go ahead and have this job. But I just remember one day I walked into my boss's office, and I'm like, this is my last day. Like, I'm firing myself. And I just went all in with school, and I thought that was my route. So after school, I'm doing the haircuts late nights, and I would just find myself falling in love with the craft and, like, studying it all night. And then I knew I had class the next morning, but I'll just keep studying all night and just watching these videos. And I remember I came across this video of Chuka, and he's interviewing Zay the Barber, and I'm like, wow, he's my age, like, and the interview is about his success and how he was able to do this. And I always thought you had to be, like, way older, or, like, you had to be special, or somebody that had some special, like, gift, or it was just passed on to you, like, for you to get that. And my desire was to take the weight off my mom's shoulders. And so I thought, school would be the route. But I'm loving these haircuts. So I thought, after seeing that video and just seeing the possibility of it all, that's what really changed everything. And then I came across the Rich Barber Commandments, and I'm still this kid, though. To paint the picture, I'm 19 years old. I'm just this lost kid. I remember one day staring at the wall, and I'm just, like, getting ready for my financial aid meeting, and they're gonna, like, help me prepare my next classes and everything. And I'm getting ready to graduate. Like, I had, just a couple of semesters. And I was just thinking, like, where's this all even leading to? I'm not sure if this is my, my path. So I had my meeting coming up, and I went there. I went to the meeting, and she asked me, like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your vision? And I told her the only thing I knew, which was that I want to own a barbershop one day, or I enjoy cutting hair. And she's like, okay, well, it sounds like you're a business major. So I said, okay, for sure. We ended up switching my major. And I think that was meant to happen, because what that did is it put an extra semester on for me to graduate. And I had all this pressure of people telling me to stick with it. But I went ahead and just, after that semester was finished, I had one left. And in the meeting, they told me that my financial aid was out. So I would have to take that money up front, you know what I mean? and pay for it. And no one was helping me with my school, so I thought, this don't make sense. Like, it don't even feel right. So I went ahead and just fired myself from that too. Yeah, right.
Wow, definitely life-changing decisions right there. Yeah. So looking back, Julio, what advice would you give someone who may be in a similar situation on how to get started, looking to get started?
Man, I mean, this life's all about taking risk, and that's one big-ass risk I took. I was, like, broke, didn't know what to do, left that job, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? One thing I could, like, really advise someone, if they're in my position, is don't be scared to take risks. That's all what this life is about, is taking risks. You can't be pushed around. I mean, life's going to push you around regardless. Your whole life is going to push you around, and you either fight back or you take it, you know? Like, you're going to fight back and you know, continue to make a progress and do something and turn it into a lesson, or you're going to be like, fuck, like, you're going to be scared to do anything about it, you know? Like, that's one big piece of advice I can give is take risks and don't be scared of them, and especially while you're young, take them while you're young. Make risks while you're young, because you're just going to be more knowledgeable in the end. You're going to be more knowledgeable when you're older, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any advice for anyone in your similar position looking to get started, Joel?
Right. You know, I would love to call myself the Einstein of this generation, or like the Barber generation, but the truth is, you know, nothing special. It's really just that I just focused on learning, and I put a big emphasis on putting myself around the right people. Even when I didn't have it, you know, I created my own environment. I would just surround myself with the people that I wanted to be like, you know. And when I say that, I mean like through videos, through books, through just seeking mentors. And I think if somebody could find a mentor, someone who desires these results, like just find the mentor that's has the result that you want, you know, and maybe pick a different tier. Like if there's 3 tiers of mentors, just shoot for your local ones first. Like, you know, if that's like your A-list mentor, or I guess your C-list mentor, just shoot for your local ones. For me, there was a salon owner in my hometown. There wasn't a whole lot of barbershops, but he owned a salon and he was really successful. So I went and just walked in there with a pen and a pad, and he saw me that I wanted to learn, so he just started pouring in knowledge, like steps for me to take, you know, and so that helped a lot. And that kind of prepared me for my next step, which was finding like another mentor who would be like a B-list mentor, you could call it. So that'd be my advice, is find your steps of mentors, practice being a mentor, so that when your time comes to actually get the result, you'll be ready.
Nice. I'll take some of that advice from you guys.
Word.
So I know you guys both have some projects that you're working on your own. Can you tell us a little bit about some projects that you might have, Julio?
Man, right now I'm just kind of focusing on like really perfecting my haircuts right now. I know I will have some projects right now or later on in the future. I'm still trying to find that door. I'm still trying to unlock that door.
Master your craft first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Joel, do you have any projects? I see you working on some projects back there.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the first thing is the documentaries. Just this whole time through the journey, we've just been
That's one of them.
putting together a lot of videos, a lot of content, and then I see myself, you know, putting that together in a way that will impact people positively. That's the goal. Mm-hmm. And as well as the Barber brand playbook, in January we released that, and that's just like to get, you know, a positive impact on anybody that reads it. It's kind of putting the whole journey, these last 2 years of everything we just talked about, all the details into one place for you to read it, and you could probably read it in 15 minutes, you know. And just those 2 products. I'm actually gonna, if you're seeing this now, it'll be free, so they can get a hold of that. And the documentaries, the Barber brand playbook, just trying to share the journey and help people along the way, speed up the process.
We've always been into education. We started it actually, when I started the Rich Barber, it was education focused. We kind of strayed away from that a little bit because of the innovation with the products, but the products are done. So you have powerful performance tools already available. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the other aspect to it. Like we added the skills, so we're going to continue to do that with the Rich Barber mixtape, which is the rap mixtape model where we drop like free haircut tutorials, from like the dopest barbers in America around the world, teaching you like step by step how to do them and the techniques that they use. And we drop those every month and give them away free in a bundle of like 3-4 haircuts. So that's the Rich Barber mixtape, and that covers your skills. And then you have the performance products, which help you perform better. And then we're adding the more higher end like info products, the things that really go in depth about the things that we teach, the philosophy, the principles, the models, the business models that I've done in my barber career, the way I approached my career, the foundation I laid for my career so that I was able to grow here. So that's what we're moving into now. So we gave a lot of value, the Rich Barber TV and all that. It's great information. You can use it and win. What this is going to be is more intricate, like step by step, maybe even working with me, like with, multiple other barbers and stuff like that, and really showing you how you lay a foundation that you're able to scale, like your growth and your revenue and stuff like that. And then also like, the new things that we're learning. When it comes to social media, it's always changing and stuff like that. So the way, you can market yourself on these platforms locally to get more customers, how we do our marketing and just all these things, we want to bring it to the barber so that you can lay this foundation and grow with us all the way into the Rich Barber. Yeah, you can connect with us on all major platforms. I have my personal Instagram, which is Chuka the Barber. Then we also have the Rich Barber on Instagram, so at the Rich Barber. We have Facebook, the Rich Barber. We have Facebook, Chuka the Barber. We have the YouTube channel, which you guys are watching this now on the YouTube channel. And then we also have our email list where we give a lot of valuable information that we're sometimes unable to get to the platforms, or you might have missed it on the platform, so we're able to reach out to you and make sure you get it there. And then you also stay updated on the Rich Barber mixtape. So we'll put a link in the description. You can click the link and just sign up for the Rich Barber mixtape. And if you sign up for the mixtape, you'll get alerts and for all the mixtapes that we drop. And then you'll also get our newsletter emails, which is good game knowledge and information. So, yeah. And I'm also really excited that this video is also going to be on podcast. So if you like to listen and you're unable to watch, whether you're cutting hair or at work or whatnot, you can watch this video in audio format on all the major platforms that host podcasts, which is Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Music. So you can also get it in the audio format if that works for you.
Well, that is all the questions I have for you guys today. I really enjoy listening to all of your guys' stories. A lot of similarities in them. So Thank you. Very inspiring.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. The wrap.